All right, I'm Mike Moranto, reporting for DamonWildcats.com, and I'm joined right now by a special guest today, our head men's volleyball coach, Don Gleason. And Coach, we made the announcement that we'd be adding a men's volleyball team back in early May. So, starting a program from scratch, just kind of, I guess, take me through what you've been doing the last couple of months to get this program off the ground.
Yeah, for sure. I think for me it's been all about building our exposure to the recruiting base, both locally and nationally. We certainly have plenty of talent right in the Buffalo and Rochester area, and having plenty of kids on campus for visits, but it hasn't been restricted to that radius. We've had kids coming in from Puerto Rico, California, from Hawaii, so there's been a lot of buzz on campus with the recruits that I was very excited to find. This summer was spent working a lot of camps, clinics, just trying to get that exposure out, and that's paid dividends in terms of networking with players and with other college and club coaches. So I think that hard work is starting to pay off with this fall full of visits.
Should mention that you've basically been given a full calendar year here to bring in a recruiting class, and the team won't begin competition until the spring of 2019. So, obviously, recruiting is probably, as you mentioned, it's the first thing you're talking about right off the bat. The program was, for anybody that doesn't know, the program was started with the help of a grant from the Motor MVB Foundation, which is an organization which is spending its money to try and help grow the game of men's collegiate volleyball at both the high school and the college levels. How much has that grant assisted you just in the last couple of months? It's been very important for us getting off the ground. The game plan here was to start the program at some point, but getting that money definitely kind of just expedited the process, right? So having those extra funds for recruiting has been huge. So I've been able to get out and see more kids and just expose Damon College to those kids as well. So it's been extremely helpful. So thank you, Motor MVB. And we're not. There's been other schools that Motor MVB has given funds to here over the last couple of months. I've been seeing the announcements come on social media. So to those couple of schools out there that are adding programs with the help of Motor MVB, welcome to the club. As you're out recruiting, what are you hearing from folks about Damon specifically and about us adding men's volleyball?
Yeah, just a lot of excitement. In the Northeast, there's been kind of an explosion at the D3 level over the past 4 or 5 years. But it's nice that being at the Division II level, being able to compete against other D1 teams has really set us apart from those other schools growing. So, in New York State being the only D2 or D1 school is instantly giving us more looks by players around the country. I've had plenty of guys reaching out to me that are just at a high caliber of volleyball that I don't necessarily think would be happening that if we were another Division III school popping up in the Northeast. So there's been just a lot of positive buzz from a lot of players, especially within New York State alone, whether it's in the Western New York region or spanning out all the way to Long Island. We've already had a few kids from there coming out. So it's been a lot of positive energy.
Take us through, for anybody watching at home, the way college volleyball works on the men's side. It's a little bit different than some of the traditional sports in that Division I's have their own national championship, and then Division II and Division III kind of have a combined national championship. Just kind of take me through how that works. Yeah, for sure. Well, at the Division III level for men's volleyball, it's its own separate championship. But at the Division I and II level, it's
I'm sorry, I had it backwards. Division I and II is combined because it's a scholarship program. So I'm sorry.
No worries. So Division I and II together, I believe there are about 48 teams total between the two divisions. So they play in one national championship together, which I think is awesome for Damon College, because the men's volleyball program is going to be able to bring kind of a unique level of exposure. We'll be able to reach out to schools like Penn State, Ohio State, Harvard, Princeton, trying to bring those schools onto campus. And I just think that kind of name recognition coming here and competing is going to be a really cool experience for Damon College athletics.
Yeah, that's incredible that to think that we could have schools of that name recognition competing against Damon. That's really something to keep our eye on as we move forward. What are the next steps? You've kind of mentioned you've been out hitting the recruiting trail pretty hard. You've got a number of months to go here before kids are going to start arriving on campus in the fall of 2018. So what are you focused on as the next steps in the building process of the program?
For sure. For me, having this long runway in terms of recruiting gives me the opportunity to do it the right way rather than the fast way. So rather than just trying to find a bunch of guys that jump high and swing hard and tell them to come here, I get to go find those guys who jump high, swing hard, and have the right maturity and character values to create a team from scratch and handle it right. There's, plenty of players out there who maybe can't quite handle that opportunity here, where they need that junior or senior captain to say, hey, this is how we do things, fall in line, right? Here, building a team from the ground up, we need to make sure we find the right kids. So those kids who are mature and kind of those trailblazers who don't look at this as an obstacle of, well, there's no team. I want to find the guys who see the opportunity and say, hey, this is my team. And, it's not a situation that's for every kid, so I have to work extra hard to find the kids who are the right fit. So we're definitely taking our time and trying to do it the right way, rather than just kind of throw something together and cross our fingers. So to me, I think if I work really hard on the front end in terms of recruiting, then it doesn't necessarily make for an easier 4 years with that class, but it makes for a much smoother 4 years when we're all on the same page and we're working toward the same goal.
Sure. Scheduling, we said you're not going to play a match until spring semester of 2019. When do you start worrying about that? And then when will you start, actually putting together a schedule?
Yeah, so I've already been in communication with a handful of schools talking about that 2019 season. And on the men's side of volleyball especially, I found it's very collaborative. So a lot of high-level coaches, which I weren't sure how open they'd be to discussing the idea of playing us, have been very open to it, and saying just like, hey, whatever you need, if you want to have us come out your way or you can come our way. I think a lot of schools want to take their guys up to Niagara Falls and show them that experience too. So there's been a lot of discussions already. I think things will start getting set in place this winter. So talking like January, February into March is when we'll kind of start solidifying a schedule for the 2019 season.
Great. Well, we will be sure to have you back on for another interview sometime in the spring. I'm sure we can get another, as long as you're willing and able, we can get another update on the status of the program. And we wish you the best of luck with everything that you've got going on as we continue to build the men's volleyball program here at Damon College.